Hey guys, welcome back to my live. Hi. Sorry, I am blind as a bat. Phyllis Elliott, hello, how are you doing? Hello, Josie Church. I saw your comments earlier. And Inquiz Ative. Sorry if I butcher your names. I'm blind as a bat. The computer is kind of far from me. So this is going to be funny because I have a lot of reading to do somewhat, but here we are. We have a dismissal of the Katie Joy case. And I'm low-key, it was not surprising to me because we were already expecting that could happen. But I'm a little disappointed of why, the reasons that the judge decided that there was no jurisdiction. Hey, Camilla. I am good today. I'm good. I hope you are doing good as well. And I'm glad you're here. But yeah, so I'm very disappointed at the reasons that the judge gave for this whole thing. Basically, from my understanding, if you guys saw my video on it, she was basing this whole situation on a 40-year-old test. And I am kind of surprised that that was what she used to base her decision on. Hi, SL girl. Well, from what I've seen on, let me put up her question. So here we go. Do you think that Tati will refile in Minnesota? From what I've seen in all of the tweets around, it has been discussed by Salts that there will be a refiling. So that's what's expected as of now. But we never know because this thing dragged for so long and it was probably very expensive. So I don't know if Tati is going to want to go through it again. But as per my understanding, the whole paperwork would kind of go and follow the new jurisdiction, which we're going to play a video from Katie Joy where she says that everything has been tossed. And I don't know if that's correct. Hi, Justin. How are you doing? Hi, Donna. Donna says, I think the judge just opened the door for KJ to do more damage to others. This woman needs help. Well, so before we start going over what my opinion is on this whole filing, I just want to say this. As a content creator, before the beer virus, like Charlotte says, happened, if you got sued somewhere, you had to travel for the hearing. So I am based in New York, and if I was sued by, let's say, Tati, I would have to go to Washington State, which is all the way across the country, to appear for a hearing. I'm not completely sure if there is another way when you are in a different jurisdiction like that. I'm sure there might be, but that's something that, because I'm not sure, I would say that it would be a little bit nerve-wracking to me. So in a way, I think that it's a good thing for creators like me. I'm being very selfish on this opinion, basically. But I do agree that she should not get away with it, in my opinion. Hi, Ninja Girl. A whole lot of law just doesn't exist regarding the internet in general. Yes, that's very true. We are way behind in the USA. The internet's still largely the Wild West for now. That will change in time. Hopefully it does change because, as I said, I am so disappointed on the reasoning because this law is 40 years old, sorry. And I'm just gonna show you guys what I saw here. Hello, Annie. So basically the highlights of the paperwork that she kind of looked into, let me know if it's big enough because StreamYard is weird. You can't do everything on the StreamYard itself. I have to go to another window. But basically the test is those 3 items. The defendant has to purposefully direct his activities towards the forum, which is she would have to purposefully do her videos and stuff directed to Washington residents, because the forum is Washington. Two, the plaintiff's claims arise out of the forum, sorry, my reading again. The plaintiff's claims arise out of those forum-related activities. So basically saying that if Tati was filming in Washington or Halo was in Washington. So that's what I understood from that part. And then three, the exercise of jurisdiction is reasonable. So basically her being in Washington, which doesn't make sense to me. As your girl says, agreed, Annie, Babs. Babe didn't, what? Sorry, let me put it on the screen. Baby didn't want to deal with the train, right? Babs didn't want to do, yes, that's kind of like my opinion too. But based on this, it just looks like, well, if she's not in Washington, if she didn't, Tati was in Washington, but in the same breath on this paper, it says that it's taken as face value that Tati lives in Washington. So it's believed that Tati lives in Washington. But the problem is that KJ doesn't, and the businesses and the filming and YouTube, it's not in Washington, or it wasn't for the majority of the time. And the attacks or whatever she said about Tati was not directed to include the issue into Washington per se. That's my understanding of the testing. Yes. So I'm going to read you guys the where this test comes from. So this test comes from a case called Calder, and it's from Shirley Jones. She's a California television and movie actress that brought a libel suit in California state court against a reporter and editor based on an article published by the National Enquirer, headquartered in Florida. So the actress is in California. The headquarters of the Enquirer is in Florida. So there's a jurisdiction issue there. In concluding that the defendant had expressly aimed their conduct at California, I don't see how, the court noted the following factors were significant. So I guess this is how. The defendants had reached out directly by phone to sources in California, which we could compare Katie Joy going through the Washington's courts. But I guess because, you know, if you guys saw Crip Show Art's video, she has a screenshot of Katie Joy's mailbox, like the email inbox, and it shows Washington court in there. But obviously, Saltz wouldn't have access to that, and Katie wouldn't show that to the judge, so that wouldn't be something that is included. And then the judge in this paper filing of for her decision, she just says that there isn't enough evidence, basically. So moving on. So he talked on the phone with sources in California, and allegedly she used to talk to Barnhart, right? But I guess that was not used. And then the article concentrated the California activities of the California resident. So basically talking about her job in California, which KJ didn't talk about Tati's job in Washington, but she did do one video, maybe two, acknowledging that Tati was in Washington. I guess that wasn't enough, and we'll see why. And contained various facts that gave the article a California focus. The National Enquirer sold 600,000 copies of the article in California out of the total nationwide circulation of approximately 5 million, almost twice as many as the next highest state, and that the contents in the article were alleged to have caused an injury to the plaintiff's reputation in the estimation of the California public. Let me finish reading and then I'll talk about it. And specifically, impugned, yeah, I can't say this word, impugned a professionalism, impugned of the, okay, make fun of me, make a meme of this. Impugned the professionalism of an entertainer whose television career was centered in California. So again, this is an old case, and 600,000 copies of 5 million copies nationwide. YouTube is worldwide, right? So the chances that 600,000 people in Washington saw her videos are a little higher than just selling newspapers and magazines, right? And we will never know how many people actually watched these videos because that information is in KJ's analytics. And I'm pretty sure she's never going to release that. And that's the problem there, basically. So those reasonings that she gave were not the best, in my opinion. I am very disappointed at it overall. This was not good. Let me see if there's anything else in this that I wanted to point out. Well, yeah, so the reasons that she gave were just not good enough for me. And as one of you guys said, I think Ninja Girl said, we are way behind on social media laws. So there is that. And as time goes by, I guess it's going to get better. And I assume that because that distance, you know, KJ in Minnesota and Tati in Washington. So I assume that whenever we adjust these laws, maybe there will be a way to do these hearings in Zoom, because now we are all acquainted with doing live on Zoom. Maybe that's going to help, you know. So let's see if some of this stuff that you guys are saying. YouTube is notorious for forcing their policies inconsistently. And that is very true. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Probably you're talking about demonetizing her. How does KJ get away with mass flagging and violating terms of service regarding YouTube? Blows my mind that she has not been demonetized yet. Listen, I don't know if you guys watched my video on Playmate Tessie. That kid is a mini version of KJ with steroids. That girl is a billion times worse, and she's still on YouTube and she's still monetized. So looking at that creator and then looking at KJ, as of now, I think that KJ is she's pretty harmless as of now. As far as violating TOS, that other creator is just insane. But not trying to compare them, obviously. They both have their issues that should be addressed. Yes, YouTube should take note of these things for sure. Something I learned being involved in a lawsuit and winning, LOL, was that a judge can basically choose to apply legal proceedings or not. That is very true. Looks like Babs chose not to apply it here because of such a mess. And in my video, I said the same thing. I think that she was probably going to consider it because it took a little while for her to give her decision. And that's my opinion. Let me give you guys a little disclaimer. Everything we discuss here is my opinion and my opinion only. Do not take anything I say as a fact. And if you are here for the replay, thank you very much for coming for the replay and press the like button. Anyways, so moving on. I assume, in my opinion, that is the same thing. I think she was considering, I think she was thinking about taking it on, but the circus just started catching on fire and the dumpster fire and everything went to the walls and it was just so bad. And some of the writing on her decision kind of looked like, it seems like some of these judges don't want to deal with internet because this is getting a whole lot of attention. There's a whole lot of YouTubers talking about it. And now her name is out there and Brown's name is out there. I think I saw another video of somebody saying that Brown mentioned something about never getting into a YouTube lawsuit ever again. So these guys are kind of like, this could get bad for them in their reputation. So I think that she wouldn't want to deal with that kind of stuff, in my opinion. What about the two YouTubers mentioned in the declarations, Cheryl's World and Little Red? Can they get her for mass flagging? I mean, they could try to contact YouTube. So I'm a pretty small channel. I have only 4,000 subscribers, right? And I've asked Creepshow a long time ago if she, because she has a whole lot more than she has over 100,000, she has like 400,000. And I asked her if she had a YouTube manager. I think it was during the time that KJ was saying that she was in communication with a YouTube manager. And she honestly told me that no, you don't get to have a YouTube manager or a person directly on YouTube that's dedicated to talk to you until you have upwards, maybe 1 million, something high up there. So these other channels, Lil Red or Cheryl's World, if I don't know their sizes, I have never watched them, and I will try to at some point watch their content, but I don't know how many subscribers they have. And if they are not up there, they're going to be like me. They're going to be like at Team YouTube on Twitter, because that's the way that I get communications with YouTube when I need some help. And that's it. I don't have a direct email. I don't have anything. If YouTube decides to terminate my channel tomorrow, I would have to deal with at Team YouTube and in Twitter. It wouldn't, so I think that those creators might have the same issue. So today, when I was preparing to come here to talk to you guys, I went to Twitter, obviously our beautiful cesspool, and then I saw this little pearl of hers that most of you probably already have seen. She's saying that I'm very pleased that the court granted our motion to dismiss in the Tati and James Westbrook's defamation lawsuit against me. Thank you all for your support over the past several months. I'm grateful for today's decision and looking forward to moving on. And then I was like, moving on from what? They can still file somewhere else. Obviously, Barbara, I think her name is Barbara, right? So the judge decided on both motions, the dismiss motion and the motion for sanctions. She granted the motion to dismiss without prejudice, and she denied the motion for sanctions without prejudice, which means both of them can be refiled. Tati can refile the motion, her lawsuit in another state, and KJ can also refile the motion for sanctions in that next state as well. And it's per my understanding from other YouTubers I've been watching, all of the paperwork that's already present on this lawsuit can actually carry over. So when they refile it, the next judge will be able to see all of this 65 docket filings that have been presented throughout these months. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Tati is going to want to start from scratch. I don't know if that is even possible. I don't know if she's going to want to refile it, which would be kind of hilarious. But I don't know, I'm not sure if they will refile. That's up to Tati. Yeah, so one thing that I understand from Tati is that I've had my qualms with some of her videos, and if you guys have watched my videos before, there were some things that I've said about her Blandiful. There are some things that I've said about some of her videos that I found very offensive to me personally. So I have had my fair share of rants about Tati. But one thing that I noticed is that she's a pretty fragile person overall. She does have that Snow White kind of vibe. So I don't know how much this case has been taking a toll on her. And I don't know if she's going to get like a little fire on her and be like, no, let's keep going. Or if she's going to be like, this has taken too much out of me. I'm just going to move on. Because in the beginning, when they said that they would refile, it was the beginning, right? It was 65 docket filings ago. So things may have changed. I don't know. I hope they do refile, because I do want to see a victor. Like Katie Joy said in her live yesterday, that people were expecting to have a victor and a loser. And I do want to see what comes out of it, right? So far, with Keemstar, he won, and there was another lawsuit that I don't remember the name of the person that they won. And I think Katie Joy has been in another lawsuit in the past that she also dismissed it. So this is not news for her. Like, she thinks she won because the other lawsuit that she was in, allegedly, was dismissed for jurisdiction, the same thing, I think. And it never came to be refiled. So to her right now, she's winning, Plus, remember, Salty is in litigation with higher ups at YouTube. I don't see Salty letting it go. Well, I don't see him letting it go either, but it's up to Tati. It's really up to Tati what she's going to say. Another thing that I think it's not, I think I'm going to do this first. So I also saw something else that she posted because she came at Emily, and I do have her live from yesterday, some parts of it, because if you guys watched Charlotte's today, she went over the whole thing, but I just took the end part of that live and I want to go over with you guys and tell you guys my opinion. But I saw that she posted some very weird things, well, mean things about Emily. So she said, I said tonight, and I'll say it again, Emily Baker is and continues to be biased. Believe the lies she spews and say she just read court documents. She was clear in her dislike for me, and she said as much on Twitter multiple times and mocked me. She helped create the, I guess, circus she means by the clown face. I don't know. So, I mean, we all have a bias. It is what it is. But if you think about Nate, the lawyer, remember that Nate, the lawyer, on the very first video that I watched from him, and probably you guys watched that video too, of them reacting to the motion to dismiss, Nate said, I have a bias, but this paper is garbage. So we all have biases, and we all are very aware of our biases. I have a bias on the behavior Katie Joy has displayed throughout this whole entire thing. However, it does not change the fact that we are all adults here, and we can be fair if we have to be fair. Especially for attorneys, they have no horse in this, no dog in this fight. Sorry, no horse. They have no dog in this fight. So it doesn't really serve them to be biased just for the sake of being biased. That's my opinion. And then you see on civil law that has a different opinion, and he's not afraid of giving it. So I think that even if you have a bias on somebody, it doesn't stop you from giving your true opinion about something. And if they did a good job, she even mentioned that one of Brown's filings was completely different than the one from the dismissal paperwork that he filed. The motion to dismiss was a mess. It looked like Katie wrote it. And then it became more and more and more sophisticated over time. Let me see what you guys saying. Okay, what is Baby Cake saying? Jake Baby Cake saying, I think that Duggars will have a difficult time proving damages. I want to talk about the Duggar situation because I love how she talks about people making videos on her, and 1 out of every 3 videos of hers is on this family. I remember watching them, I don't know, oh man, when I was a teenager. I remember watching their videos and like, because they pop a lot of babies. I think that that's what it was about them. And I never heard of them again once I stopped watching it. And I cannot believe the amount of videos she has on this entire family. It's just crazy, Emily Baker won't talk to KJ. That just bothers her beyond belief. KJ saying she would have gotten more information if she had talked to her. Lies. KJ's couldn't tell anything about the case. And then, yes, and we're going to get to that when I open her video from yesterday, because you bring a very good point. She told Barnhart, who was a friend, a loyal subscriber, that she couldn't discuss the case. So why would it make it different to Emily D. Baker, who was a YouTuber on top of it? Like, if you can't tell your subscriber, a person who you consider a friend, that the case, what's happening in the case, why are you trying to tell us that you could discuss it with Emily? Because your lawyer said it's okay? I mean, I don't know. So the second thing she posted right under that was, Emily's a member of the bar, and it's her ethical duty to treat counsel and officers of the court with respect. And she did not treat my attorney nor the judge respectfully. With her audiences referring to our judge as Babs, you should always refer to her as judge, period. Well, you should always refer to her as your honor. But I see her point. Even though she also didn't do it correctly, I see her point. And I don't know how it works, so I can't say I agree. I don't completely disagree because I don't know how it works in the lawyer world. Me, for instance, in the military, I always, regardless of if I'm on base or I'm at home, if I see somebody who I know their rank and they're higher than me, I'm always going to be respectful to them just because it's kind of like a job, right? I don't know. But I don't know how it is with the lawyer world. Maybe with the lawyer world, they have a more relaxed kind of behavior when they are not in the fight. You know, Emily is not in this litigation, so I don't know if she has to direct herself to Brown or Saltz or Barbara, the judge Barbara, in any specific way just because that person is a judge. So it's kind of like, really? Who cares, you know? Be reasonable, KJ. How am I supposed to treat that clown with respect? Yeah, it's Emily reached out to Saltz one time and asked about why they filed how they did. I'm not sure about why she reached out to Saltz for, but the one time I saw in her video that she reached out to Saltz was because of the Swanson lawsuit. It wasn't even KJ's lawsuit. So that's what I think it was, right? Yeah, so it was. See, thank you, Rachel. Yeah, it was for the Swanson lawsuit. And I don't even remember. It was so long ago. It was like maybe 45 dockets ago. It's just so long ago. And then she goes on to say, the judge did not throw anything. The judge did not throw anything out because she didn't want to deal with it. I argue that. The law was not met. The law was not met for jurisdiction, and every declaration was proven irrelevant to both the claims of the case and jurisdiction. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I mean, she's going to say whatever she needs to say to keep her, you know, cool, I guess, or to maybe convince people that what's going on is the truth. Because there is still the chance that there will be a refile. So she can't be like telling everyone everything that's happening. So I don't know. I'm not completely buying what she says as of now. And then she says she was never interested in the truth and she isn't licensed to practice law in Tennessee, nor has she ever tried civil cases. And she has never claimed to. I don't remember her saying that she works in Tennessee. And if she does, it's an oversight on my part, but I wouldn't hold her head for it because I didn't pay attention. And she has never tried civil cases, and she never claimed to have. She has always said that, you know, this is some stuff that she's dabbling in, and she knows how to read paper. That's basically, she knows law, you know, not saying that she knows everything, but she knows whatever she was reading and she could explain, you know, she was just trying to explain it to us, basically. She's not an expert in civil law and really had no business claiming to be an attorney with expertise in these filings. And she never did. She never did. I don't remember her saying that she had any expertise on any of the filings. She always said, and it's even in her intro, that whatever happens in her channel is not legal counseling, legal advice. She's just there to read the things and, you know, and to have you guys come and do the YouTube things. It's just, you know, YouTube entertainment, understanding the laws that govern our land. So I think that what she did was good. I understand so much more about law just because of Emily and civil law and somewhat Nate. I didn't watch much of Nate, but them both with the different points of view. They taught me a lot. What happened, Rachel? I'm so sick of KJ harassing Emily. Listen, now she has a really tight window between this dismissal to the refiling to wreak havoc and give her opinions out there and do whatever, because right now she's in her victory lap. She thinks that Tati's not going to refile this, so she's free to talk again. So we'll see what's going to happen. And yes, I agree. I'm very, very. You're from Tennessee, Justin? Well, I'm from New York. I'm sorry, but yeah, I've been to Tennessee. It's really nice. Not only did she disagree, not only she disparaged me, but she routinely disparaged my attorney for minor mistakes. Did you think that the mistakes were minor? Let me know down in the comments section or in the chat. But always defended actions, but always defended actions that were not professional on the other side. I don't remember her defending or disparaging anyone. Please correct me if I'm wrong. She even defended attorneys targeting people that dare to question them. That's not ethical, and it's not it's disturbing. I think that she's addressing the situation with Lori and Barnhart when Lori said that she didn't agree or she didn't believe that Saltz was an attorney. Again, she's still trying to do that gaslighting, saying she was talking crap about the Saltz talk crap to Lori Ann, but we already went over all of this stuff. It's not true. It's literally not true. Saltz treated her with respect and talked to her just, yeah, yes. So yeah, shut your mouth, you're being sued. Yeah, exactly. It's just so silly that she is acting like because this thing got dismissed, it's over, everybody was wrong and she was right. It's not necessarily true. And then I wanted to bring this out. I gave a shout out to a civil law for his take on the lawsuit. I would like to also state that Nate Brody did a good job of sifting through the information to get to heart of the issues while ignoring the noise. It's not easy to go against the popular opinion, but he did it anyways. And I have a problem with this comment because if you guys have watched the three of them, all three of them did not like the first filing, the motion to dismiss. All of them thought it was pretty badly written, thought it was pretty amateurish looking, and it overall looked like it was bad and that Katie wrote it. And all of them said the same thing. And when I watched, I generally used to watch both Emily and civil law whenever there was a filing, just to get a perspective from both sides, because civil law tends to think more like a person who doesn't watch the videos, who doesn't know what's going on with KJ. He's not as involved in the situation, or he tries not to be. I'm not saying that he isn't, but he tries to think about it as if he doesn't know anything about the case. I'm not saying that Emily knows it, but he has a different kind of point of view than Emily's. I'm not saying that either of them are wrong or right. It's just different. And both of them had bad things to say about Katie's filings. And yet Katie is here shouting them two for it, shouting out like, you guys did a great job. When Emily did the same. Emily just read the documents just like they did, but because KJ did not like Emily's opinions, Emily's not a good person. And that's crazy. It's just sad to me. He seemed fair. Yes, I mean, I've seen that he got a lot of hate on his channel for his opinions. I did see that. And I felt bad for him because I could see when he had different opinions that it weren't going to the grain per se. I could see why and his train of thought on it. And sometimes I would even agree with him. But it just sucks that, you know, just because he has a different opinion, he's the good person and Emily is not. Especially when KJ have had videos saying that a lot of people have so much biases against women on YouTube, and women on YouTube get attacked so much. I think I have one of my videos talk about this, that she's talking about how people make mean comments to women, and even her husband has. But it just strikes me very surprisingly that she is talking this way about a female YouTuber when she herself don't like it when it's done to her. Rachel, Emily's commentary and opinion, and she's very entertaining and theatrical, which is very good for the camera. Yes, she is pretty entertaining. I really like watching her. I like Nick's perspective, even though I wanted Tati to prevail. Listen, it's not over yet. If Tati wants to refile this, she can, and we can still see it. Yeah, that's what is being discussed, that it's going to happen. Emily called Salties out too when she didn't like something he wrote in the filings. Yeah, she always says KJ deserves good representation. Yes, and that's very correct. She did, and even recently, right, when the whole sanctions thing happened, she did say that. And I have some of her live from today, and I want to show you guys. I don't know how I'm going to do this because I have never done videos on the live stream. So this is going to be interesting. But I want to show you what she said. If you guys have not watched from Charlotte, some of the stuff that she said about the case, some of the stuff that she said about Emily. So let's go through it. I try to like edit it as much as I could, and I have like some parts that I'm going to interrupt and talk about it. Emily's successful, beautiful, smart, and has a happy family. Yeah, Emily does. Emily has it all. And I'm very happy that she now is a very successful YouTuber. She deserves it.
I think that Emily Baker helped at all. And I think her coverage was detrimental and really disparaging to me. Emily Baker as a whole was not honest with her audience. We reached out to her multiple times to provide her with our side. Given that she was clearly in communication with the other side, we felt it would only be fair that if she was going to cover this and have such a wide audience to cover it, that she have a balanced approach so that the audience could be given both sides without bias. And presented her an option to have access to that so that she could provide both sides without bias, and she never responded.
Again, I think that everybody talked about this at Charlotte's Live, but nobody owes KJ anything. We are all YouTubers. We're all doing our thing. And if I want to talk about another creator, if Emily wants to talk about another creator, she's in her right. And as long as she's not doing any harm to anyone or giving anyone, doing anything, saying anything to damage somebody's reputation, she doesn't need to be talking to KJ. And there's the filings, right? And that's a very good question. And that's a very, very, very good question. Did KJ reach out to Tati when she was talking about Tati, when she was talking about Halo, for her perspective? And even if Tati didn't answer, has she at least tried? I don't think so, right? Let me know if you guys can hear the video. Exactly. I agree with you completely. Emily owes nobody anything. If Emily wants to talk about anything in her channel, that's her right. And as long as she's not doing any harm, I think she is completely fine. Let me keep going.
Have copies of those emails. We attempted multiple times to reach out to her. The way that the coverage was presented, it was so unfavorable. And
Did KJ reach out to Amber Port? Yes, right? And all the others, she's been trashed. Does she reach out to the Duggars? Because she's feeding her family off of those people. Like literally, because they have so many kids. She has so much content, right? It's just crazy. Let me know if you guys can hear it, because otherwise it's going to be weird for the replay. And Emily's office is much easier on the eyes. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, her office is so pretty. She has the lighting going on. It's just so nice. Emily said in a video that she wouldn't reach out during active litigation. And I think on Instagram, she says she wasn't going either. Yeah, and that's professional of her. She shouldn't be reaching out on active litigation. Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Every minute mistake that happened on our end was scrutinized, but glaring issues that happened on the other side were easily dismissed and thrown under the radar.
And that's not true, right? We already discussed this, that she mentioned several times when she didn't like something Saltz did. She mentioned that KJ deserved good representation. So she didn't just toss things to the side. It's just so unfair of her to be bringing this on her live.
I repeatedly asked her to be honest with her audience that she was not being truthful. She was talking to the other side. We saw thousands, hundreds of tweets back and forth between her and the other side engaging constantly.
Yet she posted she didn't show any proof. She just said, we saw tweets, thousands and then hundreds. Did she just put up a picture that was hacked from a private account? Not sure if that is true with one of the Duggars. The Duggars? I'm not sure. I am not sure about the whole Duggar situation. I don't watch those things anymore. I think I stopped watching the Duggars. I didn't even know their name were Duggars. I just knew that they were 16 and counting or something. So I think I stopped at 18 and counting, and I never heard of them again until KJ.
Would tweet out disparaging things about me, and she was one of the people that was consistently promoting ideas like I could go to jail or I could be arrested, and those were simply not true.
And that's kind of like gaslighting of her to her people, right? Because if she's signing a paper under penalty of perjury and she's saying that she doesn't have any employees, and later on her video, she does try to dodge the questions, because if she does say that she's paying somebody, she just lied under perjury, so she could go to jail. And that's correct. Emily was correct. So why is she telling her subscribers that she wouldn't go to jail? That's not true. Just because she's tagged doesn't mean she's interacted. Exactly. And I feel like she doesn't understand how Twitter works. And that's not, and it's not me talking shit about her, because I don't freaking understand how Twitter works either. I have such a hard time with Twitter, and I have no idea how to sometimes I just want to find a For You page or I don't know, a trending thing. And I can't understand what's going on. I am very, 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 very bad at Twitter. So maybe she is too. Maybe she doesn't understand how Twitter works. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Kenya. Watching this and cooking. So glad to join your live. Love you so much. Ooh, what are you cooking? I'm hungry.
You're going to cover a case and tell your nerd people and build your audience on disparaging someone, and that person is offering you the option to have access to things that nobody else was having access to, and you decline it and you don't even respond.
She says nerd people now, but later in this very same stream, she says it correctly. And she has displayed this kind of, I don't know, disrespect with BX, Beast Boy, calling him Beast Boy BX. And she has done that with Angelica Oles, calling her Angelica, which that one, it's kind of like a gray area, because I think that she's from Poland, and then you pronounce Angelica, but I don't want to get into that completely. But I don't think that she pronounced it that way because of that. But she does try to make some sort of lower the bar for people by misnaming things. But anyways, that was just me being petty.
And she gave life and breathed life into declarations that were defamatory and had literally no reason to be in the case. And then never once told her audience that these made no sense or that they shouldn't have been there, and made people believe really terrible things. And
the declarations were in the case because of jurisdiction. And then she's saying that they didn't have to be in the case. That's super odd. That's my belief. Like the Nats declaration and the Lorianne Barnhart declaration, those were all for jurisdiction. That's as per my understanding.
Literally, her comments from yesterday has people believing that the case was dismissed because the judge didn't want to deal with us, and that's simply not true. Or that, you know, my attorney was making mistakes that were hundreds of years old. That's also not true. Or that we missed a...
Okay, I need to show you guys something. She's saying that about what she was saying is about, I'm sorry. Okay. What she was saying just now is about, I think Salt is smart enough to know what is and isn't defamatory. That's very correct, Jake's baby cakes. So she's saying that they filed something that has been abolished many years ago. And then later, she says it again to one of her subscribers. I don't know if I show you guys this right now, but I'm going to show you one of them that, if I can, know how to do this, because I'm a boomer when it comes to this. All right, this is it. So I don't know. Can you guys see it? Because I can't really. Can you guys see it? Yes, right? Okay. So this is King County civil motions rule. And she's saying that it hasn't been abolished, but here it is. A motion for order shortening time may not be incorporated into any other pleading. I am not a lawyer and I don't claim to be one, but when I read this, it's pretty clear to me that you can't incorporate something, right? And I don't know if this is the same area of Washington, because I'm very geographically challenged, but I copied the law number from the paperwork that Barbara filed. So I'm pretty sure that this is portraying to the situation. You are so good with lives. Please do more. I'll try, Rachel. I'll try. And there's another thing that I saw. Let me try to get it for you. I think it is here. Here. Minute order. Motions to shorten in time have been abolished. The words abolished is right here. And this is the little code that I took to go to LCR 6B, is a code that I took to go to that little website. And then it says that the court therefore strikes the motion to shorten time. So what is she saying? What does she mean by they didn't make any mistakes? They definitely did. It's insane. How does she lie like that to her people? It's just weird. Let me go back to the video. Look at me being a boomer. Great. I love it. I love being a boomer here for you guys. It's great. Okay. Share screen. This is just, I just need to learn this one day. All right. So let's keep going.
Date. That's also not true. Like, I was at risk of being held accountable for perjury. That was not ever true. There was never ever a second where I was in any threat of being held responsible for anything. I didn't watch her videos, but her team did.
Remember that. She's saying that she didn't watch her videos. Remember that.
So we knew what was being said. Our team was watching everything because our team wanted to be able to provide a balance. Emily was not.
So when she was saying that her team wanted to provide balance, the first thing that came to my mind was, so they were putting these filings based on Tati's lawsuit, Salt's filings, or Emily's videos? What are those filings coming based on? Because they wanted to provide balance to what? To what Emily is saying? It just seems really odd to me.
There. She was not fair, not even in the slightest, not even remotely fair. And if you know anything about this legal case and you understand the damage that was done because of that, people to this day still think that I'm going to be arrested. It was never presented as she's presenting to you as a legal authority. So people believed her at her word. She owed me.
Okay. That's another thing that irritated me. She's presenting to you as a legal authority. No, we know that she has 15 years of experience as a legal attorney, but she has never in a second in her channel said, I am reading this as, as a legal authority. Like she always say to everybody, this is not legal advice. We're here just to read this and understand the paperwork. And if she assumes that everybody that's on YouTube is like a reporter or exercising their, like, whatever job they have, like, so Dr. Mike is a doctor on YouTube? Like, does he do doctor things and tell people how to do doctor stuff on YouTube? So Emily now is a lawyer too, and she believes she's a reporter, so everybody that has a channel on YouTube is a reporter too. It's just so irritating how she tries to place everybody on a box. And YouTube is a place of creativity, so stop placing people on boxes. It's insane.
Response, really? And she's engaging with the outside and saying that she's unbiased. You guys are delusional. You guys are gaslighting. Go back to your law nerd.
Did she say law nerd? Like, oh, she knows what law nerds are, huh? She said in her live yesterday she intends to keep Michael Brown just in case he refiles. She thinks because he won the jurisdiction motion that he isn't incompetent in the fool that everybody knows he is. Yeah, she also said that it would be very expensive to hire a brand new attorney for the case. Emily answered questions. She didn't promote anything. Exactly. I agree with you 100%. Katie doesn't know what fair is. She doesn't. Clearly, she does not know what fair is. Am I a boomer? Am I a boomer? My mom is a baby boomer, but why are Gen X referred as boomers? Are we old people now? Well, I'm going to explain to you why I say I'm a boomer. There was a little bit of a, what is it called? There was a TikTok. It became viral. It was somebody fighting with someone and their parent or whatever. And they just said like, okay, boomer. And that I just stuck with it. It's just a thing I say. I am actually a Generation Y. I'm from 83. So I'm probably like considered a millennial or something. Or I mean like in the middle, I don't know. But I just call myself a boomer when I just am challenged by my technology,
Her. And I'll never like her. I think she used this to build her channel, and she made thousands of dollars on me off disparity and really not balancing it out at all. She did way more than read documents. She gave light to declarations and to defamatory statements that never should have had any light in them.
I mean, she read documents. She read documents.
Watched what she has said. Some of the videos, and it's so factually untrue. I don't need to get it.
Did you hear that? She said, I actually watched some of the things she said. So she actually watched her videos. When in the same live, she said that she never watched her videos.
Right, because literally nobody knows more about what happened in my life than I do. If any of you think that because of watching her, you know what actually happened, nobody knows. You guys know what happened in the filings, but you don't know what happens in the discussions that lead up to filings. You don't know what happens in the emails and the phone calls. You only see what makes it to the courtroom.
That's fair enough.
So much that she had no idea what was going on. And it's very easy to make opinions about what you see on a paper, but you have no idea what actually happened. But
she never tried to say that she knew what was going to happen. She never claimed that she was doing anything else but reading the papers. It's just so annoying.
Never know. I absolutely dislike her, and she doesn't like me, and I think that's pretty obvious. Is it okay for you guys that she can disparage me and she can be rude and she can be but if I dare to comment, you attack me? No, they're not the ones that don't. Everything that was in those court documents was thrown out.
So this is the thing. She says that everything that was in this court documents was thrown out. I don't think that that's the case. If you guys know anything about refiling, because what I saw from Emily D. Baker is that this case can be carried out to the next jurisdiction or to the next court. And she claims over there that it's all being thrown out and it's going to have to reset from scratch. I'm not completely sure of what it is. So if you know, let me know. You know, oh, the generation, Gen X and Boomer are in the house. Yeah, there you go.
Has lots of opinions about me. I've literally seen her like tweet. We have so many times, so much evidence of reading things that were so unkind and rude about me. And then you guys get so mad that I respond when she literally is saying very rude and disparaging things about me. There's so much evidence that she did these things and you guys refuse to see it because of your like for her. And that's fine. I don't care. But I have had to watch someone make thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars by interacting with all of these hater accounts. And
and she didn't show any tweets. She just claims that there's a bunch of tweets of Emily attacking her. Where are those tweets? We don't know.
Shush.
Oh, look at this one. She shushes a person. Oh man, where can I take out that little line? No. Oh. How do I take this little line out? Damn it. Okay. So let me try to. Okay. So this the person says, "Come on, Katie, you've been here from the beginning." No, I've been here from the beginning, and just like you. Okay, let me read from my thing. Come on, Katie, I've been here from the beginning, and just like you, boosted your views and channel from the Amber Portwood, like you guys mentioned, Amber Portwood, and you gave your opinions on that. No difference. So somebody's calling her out, right? And then she just said, shush.
You are an Emily fan, just leave. Don't subscribe to this channel. Don't follow me. Just go away. I don't care. We listed her tweets in all of these documents we responded to.
Oh, somebody calling her out.
Records. I'm sure she never actually brought up the fact she was mentioned many times in the court records. And if this case were to move forward,
she was just called out. Where are those tweets?
Would be party to a defamation lawsuit. Like,
didn't she just say that? Oh my God. Did she just say that Emily would be a party to the defamation lawsuit? Hold on.
Party to a
yes. So somebody asked her to show the tweets. So
fact she was mentioned many times in the court records, and if this case were to move forward, she would be party to a defamation lawsuit. Like,
so basically she's saying that the tweets that Emily posted disparaging her have been added to some of these declarations and motions, and then if this is gonna move forward, Emily D. Baker is gonna be a party to the lawsuit. I read all of the papers for you guys. Emily read all the papers for you guys. A lot of people read all the papers for you guys, and I never seen such tweets. But she is claiming that she might sue Emily. She's comparing everything she did to Tati. Emily made so much money off of me. Listen, I can't tell you how much Emily makes. I can't tell you how much Emily makes. Sorry, it was the bell. But if I was basing it on myself, it's not much. I'm sure she makes more than I do, but I'm not saying that she's going to buy a castle anytime soon. You know, like, so she is just delusional. Katie is delusional because Katie's basing other people's incomes on her 15 lives a day. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Let me answer the door. Okay, sorry. It was probably the mailman. But anyways, damn, and I've never had somebody not ring my bell, so he took me away from a mojo. But anyway, so I don't know how much she makes. Oh my God, the door, I'm sorry. Thank you. It was the UPS. All right. So I'm back. Now I'm good. All right. So yeah, I don't know how much Emily makes. I have no idea. And I don't know. I don't know why she thinks that Emily is buying a castle or something with her name. You know, if you go to Emily's Twitter, there are no rude or misleading tweets about KJ. And I know that. I've seen it. Oh, Emily is the best. Emily is the best. You are correct, Shelly. And if you are new here, don't mind if I butcher your name. I'm bad at pronunciation.
If you want to be honest, we have a lot of evidence of defamation against her. And I can't show you that.
Well, of course you can't.
A lot of experts and very opinionated people.
Did you hear her husband saying, oh, it looks like there's a lot of experts and opinionated people?
The Lori stuff was the most horrific stuff because not only was Lori extremely in a very vulnerable state, but it was brought up and it was irrelevant and it made such a big deal. And people still have these videos up about her, and I wish they would pull them down. And I wish they would pull all of the videos down about all of the declarations because they were all tossed out.
And that's another thing that I think she is gaslighting everybody about, because she's saying that all of the things are being tossed out. So why don't everybody get rid of the videos? Hell no, girl, because if this goes to another jurisdiction, we're going to have some receipts. LOL. Is your mojo good? I guess it is. I have a good mojo. I'm literally laughing out loud at this. Yes, she's just crazy. I think that she is trying to get people to delete these videos. So when it carries on, there's no proof of nothing, right? Yes. And she tried to say that Lori, she was just desperate. She just needed to make it stop. And that's why she signed the declaration. She's just trying to like gaslight people about what happened, you know, because now she can talk about it.
Wish that people would realize that these declarations were by people that were struggling mentally. They never should have been a part of the case. They didn't prove anything. They had no weight on the case. They were proven irrelevant to what we were arguing. No, it wasn't that it didn't exist. It was a disagreement that they had about, I don't even remember what the specific thing that he was requesting. It was like it wasn't that it didn't exist, but it was a disagreement about how they said that a court ruling had changed, but it wasn't something that had changed recently. It wasn't like we didn't agree in general that rule didn't apply, but.
So she's talking about the abolishment of that motion to shorten time. She's saying that, no, it wasn't. Yeah, no, we just didn't agree. Come on.
Clerk said that it didn't, and so the clerk rejected it. Doesn't mean that that's a bad thing.
She's saying that the clerk was the one that didn't take that motion. Like, seriously? It's the clerk? Oh my God, let me play this again because I interrupted it so much. Her excuse on the motion to shorten time is ridiculous.
No, it wasn't that it didn't exist. It was a disagreement that they had about, I don't even remember what the specific thing that he was requesting. It was like it wasn't that it didn't exist, but it was a disagreement about how they said that a court ruling had changed, but it wasn't something that had changed recently. It wasn't like we didn't agree in general that rule didn't apply, but the clerk said that it didn't, and so the clerk rejected it. Doesn't mean that that's a bad thing.
Seriously? It's not a bad thing. If Lori shouldn't be on the case, why did she try to claim $18,000 on sanctions from SATIRE? Yeah, and why did she try to get a declaration from her as well? If she shouldn't be in the case, why was there a declaration? Why? We don't know why. I guess it's because it wasn't serving her. So then it's no good. It's irrelevant. But she wasn't struggling when Lori Barnhart. Yes, exactly. You're completely right. When Lori was on her side, no, that was relevant. But now, no, it's not.
And when we asked for the court to help us in regards to what was happening on Twitter. So that was a ruling in our favor. No, the law was not abolished. Sorry. It doesn't matter that we filed something where you say it was abolished 10 years ago, but it doesn't bother you that false declarations were filed. And
so I'm trying to understand here, if you guys know this, why were they false? They were to help jurisdiction. Yeah, maybe there was an error with the Lori Barnhart employment, but everything else, like what was false? I'm really struggling to see what her point is here, but let's move on.
Idea that somehow it's better for them to come to Minnesota. That's simply not true.
So now she is again gaslighting the people, saying the idea that's better for them to come to Minnesota is just not true. Come on.
He knew what was being brought in was irrelevant, and it had nothing to do with jurisdiction. We knew that, and we argued that, and the court agreed with us. I don't have a connection to this man, so I don't.
So she's talking about Swanson because somebody asked her, sorry, my leg's like weird. Somebody asked her if was Swanson who tipped her off. And I just wanted to live here. I just wanted to leave this here because if in the future it becomes relevant for something in his lawsuit, here it is.
I received an anonymous email, an email address I'd never seen before. And it said that a lawsuit had been filed. And it was by someone named like Bruce. And it was weird because as soon as I opened the email, it disappeared. So I don't know if they have like one of those server things where they can like make it vanish. So when I went back to go find the email, it was gone. The whole motion to dismiss was irrelevant. It's granted, so it wasn't irrelevant.
She's so snappy to the people they're commenting. And then her husband is also a little snappy in the background. I try to have the things that he says here, but not all of the stuff came out. Even when it is right in front of us in black and white, Katie can never admit when she's wrong. It's so amazing. So true. Like, how can you say that the thing wasn't abolished? How can you say it was just a misunderstanding, a disagreement? Like, so weird. KJ just totally avoided the question about the motions that was abolished. Yes. Yes, you just said like, no, it's just a disagreement. What the hell?
That's just a bizarre statement.
That's a bizarre statement.
And then she mutes her husband.
No.
Oh, no, not right now.
I'm amazed how many people have gotten their paralegal and legal.
Oh, they're not paralegals. They're full-fledged.
They're full-fledged attorneys.
They are. I don't mean this to be disrespectful to some of the people that are asking these questions.
And then she's going to mute him.
Like, especially not Netby from California. This is not like to be disrespectful at all, but I'm just like,
Where'd he go? He gone. What did he say? We don't know. She muted him. Look at that.
I think the biggest thing is that people just don't understand legal stuff. I'll be the first to admit I didn't understand litigation until I was a party to it. But I think there was still a lot of misinformation about what was being filed and what was being responded to. And, I think at the end of the day, like, you have to respond to motions. If you don't, they are granted. And if someone is filing something that is either irrelevant or disparaging, you're responsible to respond to that. We weren't the ones that were bringing in the declarations. The only declarations that we brought in were declarations by me or by my attorney.
Of course, because nobody wanted to sign a declaration for them. That's why they didn't bring any other declarations. She's got the invisible ink email. Oh yeah, probably, right? I have a way my email disappeared too. I called delete button. Yeah. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for coming to the live. Unbelievable. Yes, Donna, it is unbelievable. Will she be smiling that big when Tati refiles? I'm sure. Hope so. I don't think she believes that Tati will refile. That's why she's smiling. Has her husband ever found out how she often mutes him? So yes, later on the live, somebody mentions that she muted him several times. And then she goes like, oh, I just muted him because he wanted to ask me something personal. And then she goes like, oh yeah, he asked if you guys have like a law degree. And I'm like, that's not personal. But then I asked him to ask me personally. Like, weirdo.
She was just under such considerable stress. She would have done anything to make it stop.
That's what she's saying about Lori, that she would sign anything. She just wanted to make stop.
What was put in that next declaration that was put out by the other side by her was completely false. And I think in general, you have to remember that just because someone asks something to happen in a legal case doesn't mean that it can immediately happen. Litigation takes time. I've an extremely methodical attorney. But you can't just demand a litigator to do something for you. You can't. And if it doesn't make sense in that moment, or if it's not the right time, it comes down to what makes the most sense. Like,
of course, it didn't make sense for them to reach out to Salt and let him know that the Lorian paperwork with the DOT was wrong, because if they did that, it was going to get them to correct the mistake. So it was not interesting to them to do that. And also, she wanted to give Salt all of her tweets and all of her communications with KJ. So it was none of their interest to have that done. She said litigation takes time. No, it takes a goddamn phone call. And Salt resolved everything super quickly. So how can she say that? How can she go and say to people that, no, yeah, we can do that fast? Just give him a phone call. Hey, dude, there's a problem with your filing. Okay? All right. That's it. Like, she thinks that we are all children. Like, does she think, sometimes I think that she believes that we are still in the like non-internet time where people still needed to like send, I don't know, letters, or needed to go through like lawyers to do things, or needed to go through other venues to be able to get things done. But she doesn't understand that nowadays you don't. She tweeted at Salt's tweeted back, and then she was signing a declaration. Like, she's so stupid. Common sense and logic are not her friend. That's very true. No, you were assuming KJ acts logically. I'm trying to assume that, because come on, it's just a phone call. Like, everybody knows. Don't come to somebody and say like, hey, it doesn't work that way. You have to wait. No, you don't.
stuff in these declarations it was just not true. She definitely did not work for me. I'm like the only person I've ever.
Oh, so she's saying that Lorianne never worked for her because she said that she was an agent, right? And then she's going to, oh my God, she's going to start walking into a trap, and then she's going to try to get out of it.
Paid as a subcontractor, or not even a contractor, just like an unpaid employee. Because I don't have employees. I don't give out W-2s like that. There was nothing.
So she was like, yeah, she doesn't work for me. She never worked for me. The only person that I have as a contractor, she's like trying to like talk away of it. And then she was just like, she just stopped. She just stopped talking. She's like, you know what? I'm just going to stop talking.
True in that declaration. Like, I'd never spoken to her on the phone. I'd never emailed with her. I never knew. We never talked about personal things.
So she's trying to say that she has never had conversations with them. So where are those receipts coming from?
Natalie one, we were able to prove that she altered a document. And the weird thing about the Natalie thing is that from a court perspective, everything to do with those declarations was done after that hearing. So when she ruled on everything in regards to what was happening on Twitter, the Natalie declarations were a non-factor in the case. They were not relevant to the case, and they didn't bear any on the case.
Do you guys know if the Natalie stuff was actually thrown out? Like, I don't remember none of that. Yeah, she does. She keeps putting her foot on her mouth, like, all the time. I hope Emily sent KJ's a cease and desist regarding the harassment. She's been saying that she's going to put her on a lawsuit. Oh my gosh, she's going to put her on a lawsuit. She's going to put her on a lawsuit, defamation lawsuit. I want to see that she probably doesn't even have money to keep going on this one that she just got out.
I did not speak to her. Any of the communications suggested I can't go members only, Jess. Sorry.
So again, she's trying to escape from some sort of question, right? Let me see. Somebody asked her, you can deny receipts, because she's saying like, oh yeah, Nat forged all of her receipts, and all of these people's receipts are not true. She tries to explain.
The case, there were no receipts. I did not speak to her. Any of the communications suggested I can't go members only, Jess. Sorry.
See, when she was about to say like I didn't have any communication, then she goes on to some other person and stops talking about it. Done. No more.
The majority of the videos remain on my channel, but I've denied repeatedly and continue to deny that I did anything. And I'm not going to acknowledge or admit fault to something I did not do. It's not a lesson I needed to learn.
So she just said that she didn't learn anything from this experience. I cannot believe this.
Yes, the receipts were altered. Like, I never sent her any messages, and that was clear. That's why it was closed and why the judge ruled that no further declarations from her would be allowed into the court. They were very clear about that. The judge said she would not allow any further declarations from that person into the court.
I don't remember none of that. But that was it. So basically, I saw a whole lot of gaslighting to her subscribers, to the people that were there. I saw a whole lot of attempt to place foot in mouth, but realizing that foot was coming to mouth. So karate chop foot off mouth, and some of them made into the mouth. I don't know. Like, I don't know what she's expecting from talking this way about the lawsuit. Seems like she thinks she's not going to have to deal with it anymore. But I hope she does. Just because I want to see where this goes. I just want to see where this goes. I am really curious to see if she's going to lose this. Even though we're all aware of the fact that it's not that easy to win a defamation lawsuit as per our legal tubers. But I am just very curious. Maybe Tati would just try to bankrupt her. I don't know. Maybe we'll just refile it and bleed money off of her. I don't know if she's going to do that, but that's also an option. I'm excited to see what else she's going to say about this lawsuit. And I'm excited to see what else she's going to lie to us about, you know? I don't know, you know? Good luck and good. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. It's getting very difficult. She gained 5K subs and the case was dismissed. It don't matter what we think. To her, whatever she paid her lawyer was clearly worth it. Yes, she will never learn her lesson until she is held accountable. Yeah, and you know what? After all of this time, it seems like I don't think she will ever learn the lesson. Thank you so much for doing this live. Oh, thank you so much, Shelly. I don't think she's going to learn. It just looks like she's not. That's wrong to judge. That's wrong. The judge said it needed to be reviewed before submitting. I don't know. I don't know what it needed to be reviewed. I'm sorry, but KJ has created all of this and she is loving it. She is. And I'm pretty surprised she managed to not lose that many subscribers. I don't know if she bought subscribers to keep her numbers up. I don't know what's going on. I just know that I'm pretty actually impressed that throughout all of this, she managed to stay up in there. She managed to be, you know, going. And that's pretty commendable, I guess. But as I said, I have a bias on her because of her behavior this whole entire time. I am disappointed that this lawsuit was dismissed for the reasons it was dismissed. If it was dismissed for any other reason, I guess more relatable, I would be a little happier. But we do not have laws as of now that would support that kind of outcome. Hopefully, these lawsuits help our United States in that sense. I'm hoping. But yeah, and everything that she said in this freaking live was just, in my opinion, a lot of lies. Starting from the beginning, so I probably won't chat. Oh, okay, Kathy. But I wanted to say hi and look forward to hearing what you have to say. Thank you so much for coming to the replay. I'm sorry, but KJ has created all of this. Yes, and she is loving it. But yeah, that's basically what I had to show you guys. I'm just really surprised with the outcome. I'm really surprised that she's now talking and trying to fool everyone and trying to see if she can get these videos down. I have seen a video from True Sleuth warning everybody who are making videos about KJ that now that she's in her victory lap, she might start coming after creators again because she's no longer in her little corner. Now she's just going to come after people. And I'm pretty sure she knows about my existence because I used to follow her and then I didn't follow her anymore. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I got blocked or what happened, but I'm pretty sure she knows of the existence of most of the channels that talk about her. So if you are a YouTuber who are making videos about her, just good luck, and just stay very impartial, stay very professional on your opinions about her. I know that it can get a little annoying to watch that behavior, but we're better off just being above that, you know? So that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. When she shuts up and does her lives, she is doing well. It's when she does lives, she's hated. Oh, okay. So when she's doing her videos, she does well. And when she does the lives, because she can take criticism. Watching her like watching a Karen. Oh my God. Oh, thank you so much. I do try to be very, political about it, but I do get a little nervous and a little angry at some things, but then I have to, but yes, if you guys are making videos or tweets or anything about her, just be a little careful, because now she has been released back into the wild, and she might be eating some of her feet sometimes, but now she is released back into the wild. And we don't know what's going to happen after that, because she didn't lose that many subscribers, which has me a little worried. I don't know if those are bots or if they are really people that agree with everything that's going on. So just be careful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I try to be fair, I guess, even though I have a bias. I don't like what she's doing. I just don't understand how she keeps getting away with so much drama and still not hit her, the damage she's causing. And clearly she just said in her live yesterday that she don't feel like that there's nothing to learn. So I don't think that this situation has taught her anything, and I don't think it will. Hopefully it gets refiled, and we'll see. We'll see if she finally learns a lesson, at least a little one. Who knows? But that's it for you, for me, for us in this live. And I'm glad you guys like the lives. I'll try to do more lives when I can. I appreciate that you guys came to watch the video. If you are one of my replay crew, thank you so much for watching the replay. Don't forget, before you go, to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell button so you can get notified every time I post. Also, press that like button so you can help the video go up in the algorithm, because little YouTubers like me go not far without your likes. And if you are a subscriber, just take a look at the subscribe button, because sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you guys for no good reason, and I don't know why. But thank you so very much, and I will see you guys in the next upload. Bye. And then I'm just gonna sit here and try to log off, because I said bye. Bye. Bye.